Hello, my name is Dr. Nikki Fogarty. I am an associate professor in the biology and marine biology department. I've been at UNCW for about 5 years, and prior to that, I was at a different university. I grew up in Dayton, Ohio, and obviously far from the ocean, but the love for the ocean was definitely instilled upon me by my parents. And although we would take trips to the beach growing up, it wasn't until I turned about 14 where we started really exploring the ocean through scuba diving. So as soon as I put my face underwater and saw the beauty and the complexity of the marine environment, I knew I wanted to be a marine biologist, particularly studying coral reefs. So I was very fortunate to have those opportunities growing up, and I'm very grateful to my family for providing that opportunity. So that's really what sparked my passion and my love for the marine environment. I've always been a kid that would spend a lot of time outdoors in the woods, playing sports. I just love to be in the natural environment instead of sitting, at home. So I always loved animals as well. Before I wanted to be a marine biologist, I actually wanted to be a veterinarian. So my love for the environment and the various animals really existed as long as I can remember. I'm in awe of the natural environment. It is something that we don't fully understand, which is really exciting as a scientist. It is something with such vast beauty, and I have such appreciation for the environment. And of course, not just the marine environment, whether it is the forest or the mountains, or the desert, all natural areas are just beautiful to me and impressive. So I think my love of the environment has driven my passion in science, and my passion in science has also fueled my love for various ecosystems. So what we do in my lab to help the environment through the various research projects is that we are one of many people that are trying to help coral reefs. As you all probably know, coral reefs are in a very sad state. They've been declining over the past several decades from a variety of different factors. So we are one of a few labs in the country who has successfully spawned Caribbean corals. This technology was developed years ago by a group of scientists in the UK. And now I'm trying to think, it's probably been around 8 years where they originally used some basic husbandry that's used for the hobby trade and what, just aquarists use. And so they use that technology to mimic various factors that allow corals to spawn in captivity. So with the technology that we have available to us, it's called Neptune Apex, we can then set the temperature of our tanks to the different seasonal cycles that you would see down in Florida, the Caribbean. And we can also set the various light cycles. So the various light cycles as far as seasonal changes and solar irradiance, the light cycles as far as daily fluctuations at sunset and sunrise, and then also the lunar cycle. So you don't think about really light from the moon being important, but it's incredibly important to a variety of different animals and how they reproduce, and corals no exception. This process is really dictated by light and temperature cycles. We're able to just manipulate light and temperature and mimic what occurs in the natural world in order for them to spawn in captivity. So that's pretty cool. So again, what we're trying to do is to learn more about how to spawn corals in captivity, which we've been successful at. And we're also trying to be able to rear corals for restoration. Now, at UNCW's Center for Marine Science, we don't really have the capacity to grow thousands of corals to outplant them on the reef. What I view my lab's role is really doing the research and development that is available to us at an institution like UNCW, and also in the lab that we have built in order to conduct the research to help restoration practitioners and managers optimize growth and survivorship of various species of corals so they can take that information and mass rear corals and then put them out on the reef. So between trying to optimize growth and survivorship, trying to understand how we can better synchronize coral spawning in captivity, and then also understanding those stressors that are involved and have led to the decline in corals over the past several decades is really what we're doing to try to help save coral reefs. So I'm very proud of my team. I'm very proud of the lab that we have built, and I'm hopeful that despite the decline of corals in recent years, that our efforts as scientists, research practitioners, managers, policymakers, that we will be able to help save the corals that still exist and also replenish and restore the coral reefs, hopefully to the capacity that we knew and understood them several decades ago. So thank you very much for your interest in coral reefs and your interest in the Fogarty Coral Reef Lab.